The ancient Greeks, renowned for their contributions to Western democracy, medicine, and culture, are notably recognized for their citizen soldiers, the hoplites. While commonly perceived as uniform, the hoplites varied in form and strategy depending on their geographical location. The city-state of Syracuse, situated on the eastern coast of Sicily, boasted a surprisingly large empire despite historically having a less notable military. Syracusan hoplites adapted to the unique conditions of warfare in Sicily. The island's rugged landscape and the prowess of native Sicilian horsemen required a more mobile and flexible approach compared to the rigid hoplite phalanxes on the Greek mainland. This adaptation led to the development of a distinctive type of hoplite. Despite Syracuse's historical lack of military prominence, Syracusan hoplites achieved significant victories that shaped history. They faced formidable opponents, including the mighty Carthaginian Empire and fellow Greeks. The irregular nature of Syracusan hoplites proved advantageous in battles against both native Sicilians and powerful empires. Syracusan hoplites, like their Greek counterparts, were heavily armed infantry using a large round shield called a hoplon, a spear, and a short sword. However, their adaptation to diverse enemies in Sicily required flexibility in tactics and weaponry. Against other Greeks, Syracusan hoplites employed standard hoplite tactics, forming a phalanx and advancing with shields overlapping. When facing native Sicilian tribes, known for hit-and-run tactics, the hoplites had to be more adaptable. They modified their tactics and equipment to counter slingshots, javelins, and other ranged weapons used by the tribes, resulting in a lighter and more flexible form of hoplite. The choice of the Attic helmet over the Corinthian helmet is notable. The Attic helmet's design provided better vision and breathing, crucial in battles with a lot of movement or close-quarters combat. The lighter and less bulky Attic helmet appealed to Syracusan hoplites, making them more effective in various battle conditions. Syracusan hoplites preferred lamellar armor, made of small overlapping plates laced together. This choice reflected the need for mobility and flexibility, essential against the lightning-quick raids of native Sicilian tribes. The Syracusans' unique circumstances led them to favor this lighter armor over the standard bronze cuirass used by other hoplites. For defense, the Syracusan hoplites used the hoplon, or aspis shield. This was a large round shield, which when overlapped provided an almost impenetrable wall. The hoplon came in many varieties, depending on where in the Greek world the warrior was from. While there is speculation about the length of their spears, with some theories suggesting they used slightly longer spears for naval warfare, the adaptability of Syracusan hoplites was also demonstrated in their use of a different thrusting technique. The underarm thrust, as opposed to the overarm thrust, commonly used by other Greek hoplites, allowed for a longer reach and greater control over their weapons. In an unconventional choice, Syracusan hoplites used knives instead of swords in battle. This could be attributed to the versatility and ease of use of knives in the fast-paced and mobile conditions of warfare in Sicily. Syracusan hoplites, being citizen soldiers, lacked the rigorous training and discipline of professional soldiers. This led to a looser formation, enhancing their flexibility and adaptability in battle, especially against the more disciplined Athenians. The Syracusans disrupted the Athenian phalanx with their fluid tactics, utilizing mobility and local knowledge. While effective on the battlefield, the Syracusan hoplites' success was contingent on skilled commanders. Their lack of professional training and discipline made them prone to disorganization, emphasizing the crucial role of leadership in ancient warfare. The Syracusan hoplites' unique unit showcased a blend of traditional Greek tactics and locally adapted methods. Their contributions to ancient Greek warfare underscored the importance of flexibility and adaptability in various battle conditions. The Silarioi, a group of ancient mercenaries hailing from Silla, Calabria, Italy, left their mark in history during the reign of Dionysius I of Syracuse. Although the details of their service remain unclear, the coinage they issued between 357 and 336 BC provides significant evidence of their existence. Despite the lack of precise information, insights into the ruthless nature of the Silarioi can be gleaned from ancient authors' general descriptions of Dionysius's mercenaries. The name Silarioi has sparked various theories about its origin. Some believe it relates to the Sila Mountains in ancient Bruttium, while others associate it with the river Selle in Campania. A more recent theory suggests Lucania as their origin. However, the term Silarioi is linguistically tied to the Paleo-Mediterranean word sila, meaning channel in which water flows. This connection roots the Silarioi in the broader context of Magna Graecia, making it challenging to pinpoint their definitive origin without further archaeological evidence. Scholars once speculated about a city between Agrigento and Caltanissetta as the Silarioi's location. It was believed that, after being hired by Dionysius, they remained in Sicily, either taking control of a municipality or integrating into the local population. Dionysius I of Syracuse, known for granting citizenship and land to mercenaries, likely extended these benefits to the Silarioi. Recent research, however, supports the idea that the Silarioi were situated on a natural hilltop stronghold known as Cozzo Mususino, between Alimena and Resutano, rather than a distinct city. The Silarioi's evolution into a more organized group is evident in their issuance of coinage, primarily bronze coins from Sicily bearing the inscription Sileraion. These coins were overstruck on other local coins. The A-Lice inscription on the reverse side remains unclear, with some speculating a reference to Silla. From these coins, we can roughly guess what equipment the Silarioi used. We can see very clearly that they used the hoplon, specifically the Argive type. We can also see that on occasion, the Silarioi used a plain version of the muscle cuirass, along with greaves on both legs, something that was relatively uncommon for Italian warriors, who tended to only wear one greave on the attacking leg. We can also discern that the Silarioi primarily used a highly stylized Corinthian helmet with a large plume. However, it should be noted that a majority of coins depicting Silarioi warriors often showed them wearing no armor, except for a helmet. This was perhaps due to the mobile nature of warfare in Italy and Sicily, where heavy armor prevented them from being able to respond quickly to threats. As with all warriors of this time, the main weapon for the Silarioi was the dory spear. Unlike the Syracusans, where we think that they used an underarm technique to thrust, we have physical proof in these coins that this was the preferred method of the Silarioi, often utilizing a shield bash at the same time. This effective fighting style made the Silarioi highly valued infantry mercenaries. Indeed, mercenaries like the Silarioi played a crucial role in the autocratic rule of tyrants. Dionysius's rise to power involved the strategic use of personal mercenaries, initially granted to him as a guard. Over time, he increased this force and solidified his tyrannical rule, imposing mercenaries across the polis community. This act eradicated any remnants of democracy and provoked rebellions among those favoring democratic governance. The Silarioi, shrouded in historical mysteries, exemplify the intricate relationship between mercenaries and autocratic rule during ancient times, reflecting the evolving political landscape and power dynamics in classical Greece. Tarantine Cavalry in the 3rd century BC, particularly during the Second Punic War, emerges as a distinctive and significant force in ancient warfare. The city of Taranto, once under Roman control, switched allegiances to Hannibal during the war, and its renowned cavalry played a crucial role, especially in breaking the siege of Capua. Originating in the 5th century BC, the Tarantine Cavalry underwent development and refinement, especially after a significant defeat suffered at the hands of the Iapygians. Inspired by Italic cavalry methods, Taranto's cavalry became a symbol of the local aristocracy and the pride of the city. Represented on coins, Tarantine cavalry reached its zenith during the 4th century BC, but gradually declined and disappeared from history by the 3rd century BC with the Roman dominance over Magna Graecia. Noteworthy is the impact of Tarantine Cavalry on Greek tactics during the Wars of Pyrrhus in Italy. The Greeks, influenced by the success of Tarantine Cavalry, changed their tactics and military equipment. Tarantine Cavalry, in contrast to traditional Greek cavalry, embraced a light cavalry style, not meant for close combat. Equipped with a smaller and lighter variation of the hoplite shield, the Argive aspis, Tarantine Cavalry focused on ranged combat and evasive maneuvers. The distinctive shield used by Tarantine Cavalry, depicted on coins, was shallow, allowing the cavalrymen to handle javelins and reins simultaneously without encumbrance. Their appearance, as reconstructed from visual sources, featured monochrome and unadorned clothing, emphasizing a contrast with the colorful and decorated attire of local natives. Tactics of Tarantine Cavalry were rooted in ranged combat, avoiding melee engagements. Their primary defense was retreat, advancing toward the enemy, throwing javelins while turning with the shield facing the enemy, and then completing a circular movement to return to the attack position for a second javelin throw. The absence of side weapons in depictions suggests a focus on offensive capabilities, possibly aided by assistants providing additional javelins on the battlefield. In the 3rd century BC, the shields of Tarantine Cavalry depicted on coins bore the 8-pointed Macedonian star, a symbol likely adopted during the expedition of Pyrrhus in Italy. The only additional protection for the cavalryman, aside from the shield, was the Hellenistic Attic helmet, replacing the Boeotian helmet and following the example of the armies of Alexander's successors. In conclusion, Tarantine Cavalry stands out as a unique and influential force in ancient warfare, shaping tactics and equipment during a critical period. Their adaptability, focus on ranged combat, and the visual representation of their distinctive shield and attire underscore their significance in the military landscape of the 3rd century BC. Nestled along the southern coast of Italy, the Greek colony of Croton stood often overshadowed by its more renowned counterparts. Yet, beneath its humble facade lay the heart of a warrior city, epitomized by its formidable hoplites. These soldiers, though akin to their counterparts across Greece, bore a distinctive spirit, exemplified by one exceptional figure, Milo of Croton. Croton's significance in history extends beyond its modest size. During the Battle of Salamis, when the Athenians faced the might of the Persian Empire, Croton dispatched a warship, the only Italian-Greek city to do so. Moreover, as the Greek colonies proliferated in southern Italy, Croton emerged as a paramount military power, marshalling a confederation of approximately 25 city-states against encroaching indigenous tribes. However, this alliance, and Croton especially, would actually spend most of its time fighting other Greeks, noticeable the Syracusans, who had military interests in the area. Central to Croton's martial prowess were its hoplites, foot soldiers equipped in the traditional panoply of the Hellenic world. These soldiers, clad in bronze armor and wielding spears and shields, formed the backbone of Greek warfare. However, amidst the ranks of Crotonian hoplites, one figure stood apart, Milo. In the heat of battle, Milo adorned himself not merely with the conventional trappings of a hoplite, but with the accoutrements of legend. Crowned with Olympic wreaths, reminiscent of triumphant athletes and draped in the hide of a lion, evoking the heroism of Hercules, Milo wielded a club, an emblem of raw strength. This departure from the standard hoplite attire bespoke a deeper narrative. Milo led not merely by example, but by embodying the ethos of courage and indomitable spirit. Milo's lion-hearted approach to leadership galvanized the Crotonian army, infusing them with a fervor akin to mythical heroes of yore. While other hoplites adhered strictly to the conventions of phalanx warfare, Milo's unorthodox persona inspired his comrades in the heart of battle. His presence on the battlefield was not merely symbolic, it was transformative, elevating the collective spirit of the Crotonian forces to unprecedented heights. Beyond his physical prowess, Milo's leadership exemplified the essence of a warrior ethos deeply ingrained in Crotonian culture. Unlike the austere demeanor often associated with hoplite commanders, Milo exuded a vibrant charisma, rallying his men with resounding cries and gestures of defiance. In him, the Hoplites found not only a commander, but a kindred spirit, a testament to the enduring legacy of heroism that permeated the city of Croton. The legacy of Milo resonates through the annals of history as a testament to the enduring valor of Magna Graecia. In an age defined by conquest and conflict, Croton stood as a beacon of resilience, its warriors forging a legacy that transcended the boundaries of time. The Mamertines, with their Latin name meaning Sons of Mars and Greek moniker Mamertinoi, were a group of Italian mercenaries originating from Campania. Their tale unfolds in the context of Sicilian power struggles and the lead-up to the First Punic War. Initially hired by Agathocles, the tyrant of Syracuse and self-proclaimed king of Sicily, the Mamertines faced an uncertain fate after the loss of the Seventh Sicilian War. With Agathocles' death in 289 BC, many mercenaries found themselves idle and unemployed in Sicily. While most returned home, a faction, attracted by the island's climate and the promise of adventure, decided to stay, setting the stage for their pivotal role in subsequent events. The Mamertines' infamous capture of Messina in 288 BC marked a turning point. This walled Greek settlement, strategically positioned at the northeastern tip of Sicily, fell victim to the mercenaries' betrayal. Initially welcomed by the unsuspecting inhabitants, the Mamertines eventually turned on them, killing most of the population and claiming Messina for themselves. The survivors were expelled, and the spoils of victory, including property and women, were divided among the Mamertines. In the aftermath, they adopted the name Mamertines, in honor of the Oscan war god Mammers. For over 2 decades, the Mamertines held sway in Messina, transforming it from a thriving community of farmers and traders into a base for raiding and piracy. Exploiting the war-weary Sicilians, they pillaged nearby settlements, seized trade ships on the strait between Italy and Sicily, and demanded tribute. Their audacious exploits extended inland, reaching as far as Gela, further enhancing their wealth and influence. During this period, they minted coins featuring their name and depictions of their gods and goddesses. In terms of weapons and armor, Mamertines are often depicted as wearing similar armor to that of their Italian counterparts. Often this is in the form of the triple-disc chest plate, a type of armor that was common throughout the Italian peninsula. They are also often portrayed as wearing Montefortino helmets with white feather plumes. Coins and various other depictions show the Mamertines wielding a Greek-style hoplon shield, although it is entirely possible they also used Italian shields, such as those used by the Samnites. For weapons, it is highly likely the Mamertines used the hasta spear, as well as a sidearm, likely a short stabbing sword. The Mamertines' unchecked dominance drew the attention of Hiero II, the tyrant of Syracuse, who aimed to rid the land of these disruptive mercenaries. In around 270 BC, Hiero confronted the Mamertines near the Longanus River, defeating them decisively. The Mamertines' reckless behavior in battle, coupled with Hiero's strategic maneuvers, restricted their activities and placed them in a precarious situation. In 265 BC, when Hiero besieged their base at Messina, the Mamertines sought help from Carthage, leading to a sequence of alliances that escalated into the First Punic War. The Mamertines, now caught in a larger conflict, appealed to Rome for protection against Carthaginian forces. Rome, reluctant at first, eventually allied with the Mamertines, triggering a clash with Carthage. This marked a significant step toward the broader conflict that became the First Punic War. The fate of the Mamertines is obscured in history after the Punic Wars. However, their legacy endured, with their name persisting in the toponymy of Messina's inhabitants. Mamertine wine from the vineyards of the northeastern tip of Sicily remained known even centuries later, enjoyed by figures like Julius Caesar. The Mamertines, though lost in the larger events of history, left an undeniable mark on the ancient world and became a symbol of defiance and conquest in the narratives of their time. In ancient times, the Syracuse cavalry stood as a formidable force, shaping the tides of battle with their prowess and tactical acumen. Situated in the heart of Magna Graecia, Syracuse exerted its influence through a potent combination of naval dominance and a well-trained cavalry corps, which proved instrumental in both defense and offense. Unlike their hoplite infantry counterparts, whose effectiveness sometimes waned due to insufficient training, the Syracusans meticulously honed their cavalry, instilling discipline and skill that struck fear into the hearts of their adversaries. When Athens set its sights on invasion, commanders like Nicias and Alcibiades recognized the unparalleled threat posed by the Syracuse cavalry. Alcibiades in particular deemed them more perilous than the local infantry, highlighting their significance in the military landscape. The origins of Syracuse's cavalry tactics were diverse, drawing inspiration from various sources. Local Sicilian cavalry provided a foundational influence, renowned for their skill and agility, which proved instrumental in wreaking havoc on Greek armies. Additionally, the cavalry tactics bore semblances to those of Numidian and Celtiberian horsemen, suggesting an amalgamation of strategies acquired through conflicts with Carthaginian forces. These influences, ranging from Greek to North African and Iberian, underscored the adaptability and versatility of the Syracuse cavalry. In terms of equipment, the cavalry displayed flexibility, adapting to different roles as circumstances dictated. They favored the lightweight Chalcidian helmet for its visibility and agility, complemented by specialized curved muscle cuirasses for heavy cavalry engagements. Notably, both rider and horse were equipped with armor, demonstrating a comprehensive approach to battlefield protection. There is very little evidence for the Syracuse cavalry using shields. However, it is highly likely they did, probably using a similar lightweight hoplon used by the Tarantines. While engaging in skirmishes or reconnaissance, they shed heavier armor for increased mobility, relying on javelins as primary weapons, supplemented by spears for close combat encounters. The hallmark of Syracuse cavalry lay in their training and battlefield effectiveness. Their confidence in frontal charges against phalanxes, demonstrated during the Sicilian expedition, epitomized their audacity and skill. During one battle, the Syracusan Hoplites were routed by their superior Athenian counterparts. The Syracusan cavalry, confident in their skill, lined up and charged headlong at the Athenian phalanx. This charge, together with deployment of the Cantabrian Circle, was so effective that it completely broke the Athenian army, with very few casualties on the Syracusan side. These charges, often decisive in turning the tide of battle, struck fear into adversaries, leading to strategic withdrawals and disrupting enemy formations. Employing tactics like the Cantabrian Circle, they encircled and decimated hoplite units with precision javelin volleys, showcasing both strategic prowess and combat proficiency. It should be noted that the Athenians had never seen cavalry used this way before. Cavalry in Greece was predominantly used for scouting and light skirmishes, not as actual physical components in large-scale battles. As such, they were probably ill-prepared for such charges. Throughout history, the Syracuse cavalry left an indelible mark on ancient warfare, embodying the epitome of military excellence in the Hellenic world. Their fusion of diverse influences, meticulous training, and battlefield innovation solidified their reputation as one of the most formidable cavalry forces of antiquity. Whether charging headlong into enemy lines or executing intricate maneuvers, they shaped the course of battles and cemented their legacy as masters of the battlefield.